Hi, this is Sharon Acoff-Sledge, and I want to talk about Chapter 8 that Dr. Ely covered in the video and in the slides, that in the PowerPoint slides. So, Chapter 8 provides a structured approach to analyzing and interpreting qualitative data, which guides researchers through coding. I'm still trying to learn what coding really is, theme development, and reporting your findings. So, the key concepts covered in this chapter are going to be really essential for me and all the other researchers to conduct meaningful research. So, what about the process of qualitative data analysis? It's interactive and inductive, meaning you have to refine the themes as they engage with the data. That was something interesting from Dr. Ely's video. So you have to organize and prepare the data, read through the data so that you can get a general understanding of what's going on, begin coding in detail. You can develop themes from the code, and then the last step is to interpret and represent findings from your studies. How would this apply to my career in research? So, understanding this process is going to help me to analyze interview transcripts, focus group discussions, observations, and all of that effectively in my research. And it's valuable in educational research because I do think that some of our studies will tend to lead toward qualitative rather than quantitative. Coding, I'm still kind of learning coding and what's entailed with it, but from what I read in the text and what I saw in the lecture, coding is the process of labeling and organizing your data into meaningful segments. So the one in vivo codes is directly derived from participants' words, and I would figure you would use this one if you had a pretty much homogeneous uh, group of subjects, so you would probably get some of the same types of responses so that you could probably code that way. Process codes, that's where you capture actions or processes, and descriptive codes, which summarize broad topics. So by mastering coding, which I know I'm really going to have to do, I can develop systematic ways to identify key things in educational studies. Like I want to look at retention and what's the problem with retention. I still haven't refined that as to how I want to address retention in mathematics, but we could look at stuff as students' perception of STEM education. What are students' perceptions of math? I know that one thing I say to my students all the time is that math is pretty much the only subject where it's okay to not be good at. If you tell somebody that you can't read, you're going to be ridiculed and shamed. But if you say that you're not good at math, then you will have people who will agree with you. Yes, I'm not good at math either. I hate fractions. That was where my downfall. Oh my God, I hated calculus. So people would agree with you and join in with you in your inability to do math. So by mastering coding, I may be able to capture some of those things and some of those themes with that in my research. Developing themes from codes. After coding, researchers cluster similar codes into what you call themes that represent the core ideas in the data. So you might have some that would fit under a broad category together. Themes should be broad yet specific enough to capture the meaning. And you can support this by direct quotes from your participants. And so this video was interesting because coding is my one thing I didn't really understand. Um, so this is going to be useful in research. Interpreting and representing findings. Researchers interpret findings by connecting themes to broader theoretical frameworks. So findings are typically represented through narratives, visual displays, participant quotes. So being able to interpret and research findings effectively will enhance my ability to publish research and present at conferences and communicate my results to stakeholders in education. And then we also, most importantly, that I got from the text and the lecture is that we have to ensure accuracy and credibility in qualitative research. So this will help to strengthen the validity and the credibility of your qualitative research. And it's going to ensure that any findings that I say from my interpretation of my results are trustworthy and also impactful. So this is crucial when you're talking about education policy or if you're evaluating programs. So you can do this by triangulation, by using multiple sources of data to validate your findings, asking participants to review your findings, debrief with your colleagues, get feedback from your colleagues, and then by providing detailed, contextualized narratives. In conclusion, chapter 8 was interesting to me because, first of all, before I entered this program, I did not understand the difference between quantitative and qualitative research. And from this class last semester and continuing into this semester, I have more of an understanding of what's quantitative and what's qualitative, and that each of those depends on the type of research that I'm going to do. So it provides a step-by-step framework for qualitative data analysis, and it emphasizes the importance of coding, which I'm still learning, theme development, interpretation, and validation. So if these techniques are mastered, it will enhance my ability to conduct rigorous educational research, particularly with me being in math. And there's just some questions I would like to answer through research, or gain answers from myself through research. So by applying these methods, I can contribute meaningful insights to equity focused educational policies and practice. And I use our textbook and Dr. Ely's video as a reference for this video.